Welcome back to Idle Talk. Today's mini, we've been following Fabian and his work through watching The Mandalorian. I think we're on season 3 with that show. But today I'm going to be talking about this show you may or may not have heard of. I did make an Idle Talk about this show, and this is Yellow Jacket season 2. So I will be taking you through the entirety of season 1 real quick, and then each week I will be dropping an episode mini covering that week's particular episode for season 2. So let's recap season 1, everything that we need to remember or learn for this upcoming mini series, I guess. Get it? Quote unquote mini series. But I highly recommend you watch the show personally. It was a show that took me by surprise. I didn't think I would enjoy the show this much. I didn't think I would naturally be inclined to watch a show like this. And just a fun fact, it is mostly an all-female cast. It takes place in 1996, where let's get into it. A group of girls on a soccer team for their high school go on a plane because they're going to nationals. So they give us a ton of the things that happened right before this particular plane crash, right? As flashbacks throughout the season. But in the first episode, the show opens up with a weird scene that we really don't get a callback to after watching this first episode. We were like, everything starts to kind of add up for everyone. I've noticed the comments were like, oh, the first scene of the first episode makes a lot more sense now that a lot of the story has unraveled, and now that we've kind of gotten a little bit of where season 2 might be heading in, that flashback. So I'm going to run through some of the girls that we're going to follow throughout this whole series. So we have the team captain, Jackie Taylor, and we have her quirky little sidekick best friend, Shauna. And then we have Jackie's boyfriend, Jeff. And then we have his friend, Randy. They'll be a little bit more important in the present moment. And then we follow this girl, Lottie Matthews, who is crazy, I want to say. She's got some kind of mental illness going on for sure. But the way they portray her is kind of, maybe not doing that community justice. We follow Misty, who is kind of like the team manager, and she's probably not good at soccer, but she just loves, I guess, just being around the girls. Or the coach, question mark. I'll leave that, open-ended. We follow a young guy, Coach Ben, who's like an assistant coach, and he's assisting Coach Martinez, and he has 2 sons. So he has this kid named Travis and this kid named Javi. So there's another girl of interest. Her name is Natalie. I don't think if I mentioned her, but she's like the coolest one ever. And then we have, let me just fast forward and let's just, what's this? I think her name is Thaisa. And then we have another girl, her love interest. And what's her name? I'm blanking her name. Okay, her name is Vanessa, but they call her Van. Okay, so this is our main like little group of people that we should be invested in. There's a Christian girl in here too, and since we're talking about the entirety of season 1, I'm gonna keep this brief. But I think the Christian girl and her beliefs are very important to kind of the downfall of the group, because let's get into the plane crash. So they're flying on a private plane because Lottie Matthews' parents are not there for her. So she clearly has like problems, and we got a little flashback of her as a younger kid. But she has these problems that their parents, especially in 1996, weren't equipped to deal with. So they were stupid rich, right? They were like, hey, let's just love you with money. Anything you want, you can have it. So when the team had the chance to go and compete for the Nationals, their parents chartered them a private plane. So they get on their plane, they're flying, we get a little plane scene, everybody's having fun. Then all of a sudden, the cabin starts losing pressure, the plane goes down, and they crash, okay? And as it's crashing, you can see Coach Martinez, the oldest adult in the group, trying to help somebody put their face mask on, their air mask, whatever that's called. And then he gets sucked out of the fucking plane, my man. Sucked out of the plane. Just fucking gone. There's a chick on fire. I don't know how the plane got on fire, but it just makes sense as you're crashing, right? So this chick's on fire, gets sucked out of the plane too. They crash. The group is recovering. They're like, "Oh, is everybody okay? Like, we need like oh, this person right here, da 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 da." Right? They're all like checking on each other, right? And then so Misty again. Misty's an important character. It's the most important side character, I think, because a lot of things happen, and she's just overall, I think, maybe a key component leading up to this next season. And I have my theories on why. So Misty notices that there's a the big wing of the plane is like pinning down Coach Ben. So as the team, the girls lift up this wing, slide Coach Ben out, but his leg is fucked up, like fucked up. And Misty is again the like team manager. She's probably like a Girl Scout or something. She probably got like CPR certification training or whatever. So she takes the fucking axe from the fucking plane. It's still there, by the way, and she chops off Coach's leg, just off rip, chops off the leg. And everybody's like, "Yo, what the fuck, Misty?" She's like, "Yo, I'm gonna need this, and some bandages right now. Hurry up, we gotta save him." Because earlier, Coach Martinez flew out the fucking plane. So fast forward a little bit of dialogue between the characters, and Travis is the older brother, and Javi is the younger brother, right? So so Coach Martinez was their dad, and so Travis is looking like Javi's looking for him, and Travis is looking for him. Travis is trying to stop him because he knows what the fuck's gonna happen. He's gonna find his dead dad. He's gonna be fucking sad, and then Travis sees him on a fucking branch. My man landed in a tree, just flat on a branch, dead. He's dead as fuck. Anyway, Travis tries to bring him down, thinking they could help him, and then his dad just falls to the ground, because if he wasn't dead, he's for sure dead now. Okay? And so the important thing to note is that there's already cliques on this soccer team. Okay, Jackie is the head bitch, the baddest bitch. She's like the most popular girl. She's like the smartest girl, like the team captain. So naturally, in normal circumstances, that hierarchy is that Jackie's at the top. Shauna is her little like right hand girl. She's her like best friend with like no backbone, right? No voice, like, and we come to terms with that, and we learn about that as it progresses through the season, that she does not like being that person, especially to Jackie. And then we have Thaisa and Van, who get close together. They kind of are their own group. Like, they don't really like bridge out too much and try to form their own separate group. But then we have, which we would thought as the season progressed, that like Lottie's group was like the C plot, right? Like, they don't really matter. They're just there just to have like different groups. But we learned that was a big mistake, because Thaisa and Van's group ultimately became the one that didn't matter. And then Lottie, all of a sudden, like, she's got some clout here. And before we even get into the weeds of everything else, I just want to say that if anybody deserved to have the most respect, it probably should have been Misty and Shauna, because we learned that Shauna, her dad took her out hunting. Her dad showed her how to like skin animals, so she has a lot of value here, especially when preparing like dead animals to eat and stuff, and skin them so they could be warm, for the cold that we're eventually gonna see. And Misty is like, no offense, but she's the craziest bitch ever. So you just on top of that, like, she cut off Coach's leg. She probably is certified in a lot of things that are probably useful at this moment. And as we progress through the season, like, she kind of shows that. But ultimately, the groups, form their own separate groups within. Jackie starts losing her value, quote unquote. Everybody's getting a little bit antsy. Like, Jackie's not doing this. Jackie's not doing that. Jackie doesn't contribute. Jackie doesn't do this. Blah, 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 blah. And overwhelmingly, everyone starts turning their back on Jackie. And Jackie starts feeling like isolated, right? And it all starts with Shauna. Shauna's hiding a deep, dark secret, guys. Shauna is not the victim here. Shauna is, quote unquote, a bitch. And here's why. So Shauna resents Jackie, and I think she's resented her for a long period of time, and just hasn't had the courage or the confidence to come out and say, hey, I don't like you, I don't want to be your friend. She just kind of like takes it. And again, like, that's completely on her. Like, she should have just like said something to begin with. So remember how I mentioned Jackie had a boyfriend named Jeff? So she has been fucking Jeff. And as we learn throughout this season, right, a bunch of girls stranded somewhere. We don't know where. Guess what happens? Everyone starts catching their period. And Javi and Travis, being the only two guys, clearly they're not catching that. But they're noticing. They're like, oh shit, everybody's all synced up. Coach Ben too. Coach Ben's like, yo, you gotta just relax. Like, gotta like let the girls do their thing, right? But Shauna isn't getting her period. People are starting to catch on. Jackie's like, hey, you don't have your period. And she's like, stress, from the plane crash, which I get it. Girl, I get it. You mean, yeah, everybody should be stressed. But why are you so stressed? Why are you extra stressed? Why is your body not taking the stress as good as everybody else's? Because this bitch is pregnant. What the fuck? She's pregnant with Jackie's boyfriend's baby. And let me just give you the premise of what the show really is about. This show is showing us what happened in a flashback form, and we're following the three best friends, Shauna, Taissa, and Natalie. And Misty's in there, right? But they don't treat Misty with fucking respect. But Misty's been a down-ass bitch since day one, okay? So, we're following these four-ish people in the present. What does that mean? That means at some point in the flashback, Jackie dies. And we see in that very first scene that I mentioned to you earlier about episode 1, and I left this detail out very specifically. There's a girl running, falls in a pit of fucking sharp-ass sticks. And what one can assume is that was Jackie. And we don't start putting this later, we don't start putting this information together until later in the season, probably to like episode 8 or so. Like, was that Jackie? The group is turning on Jackie a little bit. Jackie doesn't want to keep moving. Jackie doesn't want to lose hope on that they're going to find her. Like, hey, if we move, they're not going to find us. And we learn that in episode 1, in order for Misty to be as useful as she can be, what her little heart desires, that transponder thing that the planes usually have, that black box, in this case it was orange, I think. It was weird. She breaks it. Why would she break that? Because she wants to create value in herself. She wants people to depend on her. And I think that's why she also cut off Coach Ben's leg. I think she wanted to fuck him. Like reverse rape. She's like, instead of like grooming, she was trying to groom him. Type shit. She's like, let me make you a burden. Let me make you dependent on me. And she's sick as fuck like that. Like, we can tell she's sick. She tried to date rape him one time throughout the season, sprinkled in that. And then we kind of revisit that theme a little bit later towards the end of the season. But anyway, let's talk about the Natalie and Travis storyline. So Travis, apparently, he had a rib removed for whatever reason. Whatever the fucking reason was. And there was a bully at school who said he got it removed so he could suck his own dick. And everybody fucking made fun of him for that. Everybody just fucking, they called him something, like a stupid ass name, right? But in my head, I'm like, yo, if people thought I could suck my own dick, I'm like, yo, that's pretty cool, man. Like, either A, it's fucking huge that I could do it, or B, it's still maybe kind of big and I'm flexible enough to do it. Like, for me, in my head, I'm like, bro, I would just say, yep, I got a monster cock, guys. What's up? Anybody want to see it? Type shit. But apparently the guy who started that rumor, Natalie had sex with. Natalie, I think that was one of her partners. And they have a conversation about sex because everybody thinks Natalie's a fucking whore because she's alternative, like, very, very. Anyway, as kids, they're all like, "Oh, look at this little cute little group of kids." But Travis here on his hand right here, Travis is like the Batman of the group, like moody, like silent to the side, mysterious, kind of like that broody kind of like guy. And so he tells Natalie, he's like, "Hey, I never had sex before," kind of insinuating that Natalie should be like doing more because she's obviously had more experience in this. And they kind of have a little fight about that. I'm like, what the fuck that's supposed to mean? Like, what is that? You think I'm a fucking slut because I have sex? I've only had sex like 3 times. And she's like, I had sex with like an older guy at like a festival, like, which is kind of creepy. She mentions, she's like, and I had sex with fucking somebody, and then somebody that didn't even fucking matter. It didn't even last that long. And that person that didn't last that long was the bully And we get that tea spilled later on, and that causes a friction between Natalie and Travis. Moving on. I brought up a religious girl. I don't know her fucking name, but I think she was the key of holding this group together because she had such strong beliefs in her God, Christianity. I think it's Christianity. I'm not too sure, but I think there was a moment in time, and I'm gonna just tell you, she dies like in the most heroic way. She found a plane, and she's like, "Oh, my grandpa used to show me how to fly. Like he would fly, and he let me steer one time. I know all the fucking buttons and what they do." Which clearly she was a very smart girl, very intelligent girl. So they agree, like, hey, go fly, because remember Van, the lesbian love interest? So she got mauled by a wolf, and I guess she got saved by Thaisa. They start burning her because they think she's dead, and she wakes up and she's like, "Really, guys, you set me on fire." They laugh about it, but her face is fucked up. So they're like, Coach Ben is fucked up. He's got no leg. Van's fucked up. I gotta go find help, because the reason why Van got fucked up was because they went to go walk and try to find help somewhere. And that search party went back to the cabin because ultimately, people died, and they got attacked by wolves. So they start up that plane. She flies off. She takes off. It's beautiful. We think she's the group's savior. The group's only answer to whatever this fucking fucked up question is. And boom, the plane blows up. She dies. And right before this, we were making good character development between her and Lottie Matthews, because Lottie Matthews, again, may have some kind of mental illness. We're not even sure what it is, but we know in a flashback that we get after this that she's been given medication. And when she grabs her medication in the first episode, and we see that she's only got like 2 or 3 pills left, the audience isn't really sure what it is. It's like, what is that? Like, why are these so important? But we don't want to jump the gun and say she's crazy or she needs medication, because she appears very natural to us, like compared to what she does later on. It's like, oh, this is why you had those pills. And she talks with the Christian girl. She's like, I'm having visions, like I'm really like having a hard time. And she gets baptized with the girl baptizes her, and we start making good character development. I think the whole group holds on to her beliefs because I think they all needed something to believe in, especially as strongly as she did with her beliefs, her religion. She held that dearly. Every time they ate something, and that wasn't even often, she made them pray. Or when times were tough, like she was praying, and she was cleaning and praying and like doing everything, but keeping her faith at the foremost of whatever she was doing. And I think the whole group kind of tied into that and kind of needed that. So when she died, Lottie Matthews is now that key figure that everybody kind of wants to, because she was like, now she's taking this kind of like mystical, natural approach instead of it being God. It's like the gods of the wind and the dirt and stuff like that. So now the group, I think, is taking hold onto Lottie, and so now making her, and some people might cringe at this, but making her the alpha of the group. I'm on my Negan shit right now. So we all know Jackie's stock is plummeting. People aren't, this fucking girly girl, like prom queen act isn't sitting right with people, especially in such a dire situation. We move on. We're going to talk about the last few episodes. And I haven't even touched upon the present. This is all flashback shit. So, Misty finds some shrooms that she's hiding, right? She wants to date rape Coach Ben. So they're having a kind of dooms coming party because they were going to nationals. They had their clothes. They wanted to at least feel some type of like camaraderie, something to make them feel normal again. And this one girl is fucking bitch. I hate this bitch so much. She's nameless, first of all. Nameless. She got this stupid fucking face. And she's like sassy. Like a Latina. I think she's Latina. But she takes it. Like, just sees it's not her. She takes it and puts it in the soup. Everybody gets fucked up on shrooms. And Jackie takes Travis because, Travis and Natalie are like beefing with each other. Like, he's mad at her for fucking his bully. Like, how the fuck would she know that was gonna be a problem? So Jackie loses her virginity, because she finds out that Shauna was fucking Jeff, and she confronts her about it. She talks about it, whatever. Right? They have a little moment, and that everybody eventually learns the truth. So, Shauna was faking her periods, right? Taissa finds out that she's doing that. Shauna later on tries to get an at-home abortion. Taissa's like, no, you shouldn't do this by yourself. She tries to help her. Shauna pussies out, and then that's that. She's still pregnant. Tells everybody she's pregnant. She had sex with somebody, and that's it. And she's like, they're like, oh fuck, what are we gonna fucking do? Like fucking Shauna's pregnant. Van's fucked up. Coach Bennett's got no leg. We have to really find help. So fast forward, Jackie and Travis are fucking, and he's like fucking her like a rabbit. He's like going really fast, and she's like, whoa, slow down, dude. Like, make love to me. Don't just fuck me, type shit. And the group's all hopped up on shrooms except Jackie and Taissa because they refuse to eat the fucking soup. And so the group of girls, Lottie's girls, so they get mad that Jackie's fucking Travis. So they go and confront them about it, and they, like a cult, shove Jackie into this like closet, lock her in there, and they take Travis and they start like having an orgy with him, like an orgy rape kind of thing. And then they start getting really weird, and then they like hit him, and then he's like, what the fuck? He's like fucking turned on and scared at the same time. So he runs away. They chase him, and they're like howling as they're chasing him. They're like, oh, chase him. They finally catch him. Shauna gets a knife from Lottie, and she what she's seeing is that this is a buck, a deer, right? And she is going to slice his throat. And then we get Natalie letting Jackie out, and they try to find him, and then they stop Shauna. And that was like a pivotal turning point where Lottie has this control over a majority of the girls. Jackie and Shauna's little clique, that has clearly ended because Shauna now feels more connected with Taissa because she knows the truth, and she's been there trying to help her through pregnancy or whatever. This is all on Shauna because she left Jackie out of this conversation for so long, isolating Jackie, and that in itself didn't help within the group dynamics because there was no way that Shauna had any good reason to shun Jackie out the way she did, even if she had all this like resentment built towards her. It's just that I think the group in itself took a keen eye on it and was like, fuck, if her best friend doesn't see her valuable, she's not fucking valuable. Not to me, not to anybody else. Ultimately, the group gets into a big fight. The group does not respect Coach Ben anymore. Anytime Coach Ben tries to put his foot down, his only foot, as the adult, they're like, stay out of it, Coach, especially Lottie. So Lottie has this control over everybody, including Coach. And ultimately, Shauna gets the truth comes out about her, that she fucked Jeff, that baby's not like that's Jeff's baby, like that Shauna can't get mad at Jackie for fucking Travis because she's doing the same exact thing Shauna did with her man. And the group just doesn't give a fuck. I think the group just wants Jackie gone for whatever reason. I don't know. I just can't, as I was watching the season, I just can't like believe that that's how this dynamic turned out. I'm a big Jackie fan. I'll say that because I think she's just funny. I think she's like realistic about things. She's not a bullshitter, but I think it's just not what the group needed. And Misty is like the biggest follower ever. She like jumps ship from like all the different groups at different times, and ultimately the group says, yo, if you don't like it, you can sleep outside. And she's like, fine, I will. So they go outside, and Jackie dies. Jackie freezes to death. And that's the ending of the flashback for this group. Now we have the present timeline, okay? So let's just fucking steamroll through this real fast. So, Taissa is running for state elective, something like that. Natalie is like a crackhead, recovering crackhead. Shauna is a stay-at-home mom who did nothing with her life and just got married to her high school boyfriend and had a kid I hate that fucking kid. That kid is so annoying. Misty is a weirdo. People don't like her now. People didn't like her in the past, and people are not gonna like her in the future. I think she's uniquely her, and I think people just don't fuck with it. So that's what they're doing. Ultimately, there's one major plot point between all four of them, and that's when Shauna gets in a car accident with some guy named Adam, and he tries to like fuck her, and then she lets him fuck him. Travis from the past was still alive, and he ultimately, quote unquote, commits suicide. So Misty and Natalie are, being the dynamic duo, trying to solve that. Ultimately, somebody sends each of them a text saying, "Hey, I know what you guys did. I need $50K in cash, and if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna tell the whole world what you did." So now this one plot point comes together. So Shauna, as they drop the cash off, Natalie revisits like an old like high school boo that she had, and he turned out to be a cop, and so she gets a gun from him. She takes it, and so they all meet up at the drop point. They put a tracker in the bag, and so they drop that bag off, and all of a sudden the tracker's moving. They chase him out through this little warehouse. Natalie takes a couple shots at him. Ultimately, we don't know if she was gonna kill him, but takes a couple shots at him. The glitter bomb went off as they opened the bag, so they're like, "All right, now we gotta find some guy covered in fucking glitter." So fast forward, Shauna's driving home after that. She gets to her crib, and Adam is there. And she's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what if my husband was home?" And he's like, "Yo, I don't give a fuck. I love you. Like, let's fuck." So she takes him into his house, fucks him in his house. They wake up, and Jeff, her husband, comes home, and he's like, "Yo, you gotta hide in the closet. You gotta hide in the closet right now. You can't be here." Hides in the closet. She's like, "Yeah, you want breakfast?" She comes in. He's like, yeah, that sounds good. She's like, "Oh, why don't you just take a shower? Just like get out of those dirty ass clothes, take a shower, and I'll go make you breakfast." And so she does that, convinces him to take a shower, and Adam goes away. She eventually goes back to the closet looking for something, and she sees this glitter on the. And so now, logically, she thinks Adam is the fucking guy that's blackmailing me. So she goes and confronts Adam. Adam has no idea what she's talking about, honestly. But there's some fucking evidence in his house that he's been looking her up. He's been trying to figure out what happened to her. It's not looking good for our boy Adam. Ultimately, she kills Adam, stabs him, shanks him. Okay, she calls Thaisa, she calls Natalie. She's like, "Yo, this is the guy that was extorting us." And she's like, what? Like, why is he dead? Natalie's like, "Why is he dead?" He's like, "Well, you tried to attack me. I killed him. Like, what else was I going to do?" And she's like, "Where's the money? Where's my fucking money?" Because she sold her cool ass car to get that money, because Thais is supposed to be the rich one, but she couldn't get that money because she's married. She's got a wife, and it's pretty annoying. Just the wife is just annoying. Anyway, so they're like, "Yo, we're out of luck. There's no money. What the fuck?" She's like, Natalie's really pissed. Not even about the money. She's like, "Yo, I needed the fucking answers. Like, why did he kill Travis? Why did he do that?" And she's like, Shauna's like, it could be possible that those two things aren't related. And they weren't. But we find out from Jeff that Jeff is the guy who sent that message and who took that money because he ran a furniture store and he took out some sketchy ass loans and he needed to pay them back. So Jeff took the money. And that was like, I was like, what the fuck? Well, I did not see that coming. And so this group of girls, they call Misty now, right? Misty from the past. Hey, remember her, the weird, quirky girl? So they call her. They help them clean up the body. Like, she's a fucking badass, like, throughout this whole season. So they clean up the body. They dump it. They dump the torso because she said, the torso is useless. Take it to the park, dig a hole, throw the torso in there. I'm going to get rid of the head and the hands and the feet. That's it. That's what that was the plan. So she does that. And then they have a final, like little class reunion things, and all of our plot points are closing. The Adam problem isn't there anymore. And then we have Thaisa. She wins her election that she was like proudly trying to do. And Natalie's on the verge of killing herself. She's got a gun to the fucking bottom of her chin. And then as she goes to pull the trigger, she gets kidnapped. And that's how we end the fucking season. She gets kidnapped. The girls in the past wake up, and fucking Jackie's frozen to death. So we had a cool like death sequence for her where she like had a dream, and she is like, "Oh, hot chocolate, really? Like, is this enough?" And people are like, "Well, it doesn't matter. You're okay now." And then we see the Christian girl again, and she's like, Jackie in that moment, she's like, "Oh man, I'm dead. That sucks." And then we have a moment with Shauna. She wakes up and she goes to tell Jackie to come inside. And that was a dream too. I think the two dreams merge at that point, and it's like, whoa, like she wakes up and realizes that didn't happen. So we're all caught up now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about season 2's episode 1 in the next mini, but I'm going to drop them like right away. They're going to come out on the same day, so you finish listening to this one, jump in, listen to that one. But that was the first mini of today. Immediately go check out the first episode of season 2 because it was a fucking crazy episode, and not really a lot of crazy things happen. It's just that we're just building right off the end of season 1. So go listen to that.